Hey everyone, and welcome to the latest ESL Open on the Korean server in the top left corner. As our blue Protoss, it's the Bar TV. It's in the bottom right as the pink Terran. It's Kiwian. Very excited to be back in action at the Korean tournaments. It's been a bit of a schedule shift since these moved to 5 a.m. Eastern Time as opposed to 1 a.m. But the action is going to start right off the bat as the Bar TV sets up a cannon rush. Kiwian hasn't scouted it yet. So, today's bracket is going to be a 32-man bracket. It's going to be rather quick tournament, one should think. Relative to the others, usually going up to 256-man brackets. And the cannon rush has been scouted by Kiwian. He's going to react to this immediately, pulling 4 SCVs. This cannon shall not finish. This cannon, however, will finish, and the cannon rush will be successful, at least in its early stages, for the Bar TV. Here we go. Kiwian retreats to the high ground. Now these cannons do have high ground vision, and they will defend the pylon, at least if melee units try to attack it. Now, Kiwian's doing something very smart. He has a bunker set up. The Marines can go into the bunker, hit the pylon, and they're going to be totally safe, and also prevent the probe from dropping any further cannons on the high ground to push in. I think that the Bar TV needs to start backing. You know what? He can hit the bunker from there, but the bunker definitely kills the pylon before the cannon kills the bunker. And then from here, once the Protoss loses high ground vision, he can start gunning down the cannons on the low ground. I don't know why he put the Marines back in the bunker. I don't think that the probe could see the Marines from there. But hey, doesn't matter. Cannon goes down. Bar TV has started to probe again back home. He's actually down 2 workers. Tech lab on the factory for Kiwian. It's going to be a Cyclone. I think that's a really smart, smooth move. No units out of the gateway for the Bar TV. And this is looking like a very clean cut victory for Kiwian, at least at the early stages. 0 army supply on the field for the Protoss. These 2 cannons should delay Kiwian from pushing out for a small amount of time. This one's going to be easy to clean up. This one a little bit harder, because something has to spot for the Cyclone to pick off the cannon from range, I think. Yeah. Lock-ons on cooldown. Oh, there we go. Nope, it can hit the cannon from out of range. Totally. Okay. Kiwian getting impatient is going to absorb a couple shots, but doesn't lose a Marine. The pylon's going to go down, and this will supply block the Bar TV. Does Kiwian just counterattack across the map, or does he macro up? Okay, he's going to go for the counterattack and put a swift and decisive end to this game. I just don't see how the Bar TV holds. I think +1 weapons is a bit greedy in this scenario. Second gateway might have been more helpful. Or rather an earlier second gateway. Whew. Bar TV is going to fight using his probes, it looks like. He wants to get a surround on the Cyclones. Both Cyclone lock-ons do derp onto probes, but I still think that Kiwian has enough. Down goes the Stalker, another Stalker pops, and the lock-ons are off cooldown. But now that Stalker is dead. Warp Gate has finished up. The Bar TV does have enough money to warp in from all 3 gateways. Okay, one of the gateways is unpowered. And the Bar TV actually manages to hold, but at the cost of 8 workers. Kiwian at 30 SCVs with that second orbital firmly in place. is going to have a very solid foundation moving into, I guess, what you could call, in very strong quotation marks, the mid-game of this match. Kiwian not stopping with the Cyclone pressure is going to produce a Liberator and sweep around to spread some freedom in the main of Bar TV. One Cyclone gets picked off, but the Bar TV doesn't have a second Nexus. Now, he was able to get +1 weapons on the field. This is just so weird. Like, the Terran's on such a strong economy. I don't know how the Bar TV finds his way back in this game. It's doable, I guess. Like, if he makes DTs and Kiwian just never reacts. A really good Storm or a really good Disruptor shot, if he can even get there on one base. Okay, nice pick on the Liberator. Kiwian, ready to use a Biotank push. ... is dropped in the chat. Ooh. The Bar TV getting a little bit feisty. Perhaps trying to tilt Kiwian into overextending and throwing, because gosh darn it, is Kiwian really in the lead. There's the stim. GG's. So it looks like we're starting game number 2 off with a pause. Just gonna sit back and enjoy the ambience. May as well do our player introductions. 3, 2, 1. In the bottom left, it's Bar TV. In the top right, fresh off of holding a Cannon Rush, it's Kiwian. So, the Bar TV does run his own Star League. I don't know how many seasons it has, but also a caster of StarCraft. I haven't seen any notable tournament results. This is my first interaction with this player, but Kiwian, a little bit more established. This is Terran. It looks like the Bar TV is going to play it more straight up this time, or at least more straight up than in game number 1. This is odd building placement to my eyes. It's not really serving much of a purpose. Usually, as the Protoss, you want to limit the ability of the Reaper to kill your probes. You can block off the Reaper jump. You can block off the ramp a little bit. You can block off the front. But Kiwian's building, or excuse me, the Bar TV's building's kind of floating out in the middle of nowhere. Kiwian opens Marine. He goes into Factory. And And here comes the Reaper. There's nothing to stop it. There were no buildings to delay it. So the Adept is not going to be out in time. First probe has fallen. There could be 2 more casualties. It looks like Kiwian distributing the damage a little bit too much, so no casualties so far. Oh no, the Adept's slacking on the job. Okay, there's a second probe. Third probe. Oh no. Look at that caster call. 3 probes exactly. I mean, this is the world's chattest Reaper. This is like a parting Reaper, man. The micro potential in this guy. Oh, and another one. And another one. There's a Stalker and an Adept on the field. This absolute unit of a Reaper with 7 kills. The Bar TV is down 5 workers. He's down 8 army supply. Kiwian's readying a bio push. Or is he? He could just Widowmine drop. If he Widowmine drops and kills 2 probes, that's like... that's like unrecoverable economic damage to the Bar TV at this point. Oh no. Oh, the feels, man. Another 2 workers go down. This is the first unit. This is the first unit Kiwian sent out. 9 kills, man. And you can just see the disparity in the army supply that this singular Reaper has cost due to the lack of economic efficacy from the Bar TV. That Widowmine shot could have gone many ways, but it went the correct way, and 6 more probes go down. Oh, another probe goes down at the natural. All this damage from 4 units. Almost 1,000 minerals gone in only worker kills. 0 losses for Kiwian. Oh no. Eight more probes die. It's 20 probes to 45. Yeah, 45 SCVs. The Bar TV finally goes on the attack, and the first unit goes down for Kiwian. Okay, this charge on attack is actually really good. If Kiwian has a 7-kill Reaper and loses this game, I'll lose my mind. He picks off Stim! Oh my god! Wait a minute. Okay, those were great Widowmine shots. Oh no, but one of them weakens the bio. But, in the background, 10 more probes die. WW is called by the Bar TV. Kiwian. In the top right of this round of 16 match here on Eternal Empire, it's Probe. And in the bottom left, as the Blue Terran from Brave Star, it's Dream. Probe, one of the best players from the C region. And he looks to be opening standard. Probe can get a little bit cheeky, but It's about a 50-50 toss-up. I think on Eternal Empire we're going to see a macro Protoss versus Terran game. At least 3 bases from each player, probably a 4th. At least from the Protoss. There's going to be a lot of downtime. There's going to be a lot of escalation. Unless Probe, goes for a Blink Stalker play, goes for DTs. But that's not the most common on Eternal. The Probe moves in. Just going to try and delay the command center. Marine arrives to chase it away. It will escape. Looks like he's going to claim the Xel'Naga with it. A male Carrick stops by to say hi. Dream. It's double pumping Marines. It's going to be a Stargate opener from Probe. Standard Stargate opener. Now, I'm very interested to see whether this ends up being the 2 Stargate Phoenix build that's been making the rounds lately versus Terran. Could be the play. It could just be your normal harassing Oracle. Looks like our Terran is going factory starport, hiding his tech a little bit far back in the base so as not to get scouted immediately. Probe is a little bit lacking in that scouting information, but we should see that change over the next minute. And it is going to be a Phoenix. Just off of 1 Stargate so far. These Marines should be able to handle it if they're positioned correctly, and they do have the Xel'Naga, so they're going to be able to have vision if Probe isn't careful about the way he sends his Phoenix. Right now it's going to get spotted pretty much immediately, and it's going to take a couple pot shots from these Marines. Is it though? Okay, it's not, but it is seen. Dream going into Banshee. This will get scouted. A second Phoenix coming out for Probe. So this might just be like 3 to 6 Phoenix to harass the Terran just a little bit, pick off reinforcements, maybe get a couple SCV kills off of this 1 Stargate. He's certainly not hiding the fact that he... Well, is he, though? I mean, he's flying these all over the map. My question is, like, does Probe want to show the Phoenix? Because there's definitely a way you can do this where you build up the Phoenix and then you push out and surprise your opponent. I think the Marines of Dream kind of hard counter this, though. I mean, sure, they can lift the tanks in a fight, but there's not a ground army to speak of for Probe. One lift used on a Marine. This Phoenix could be a threat to the Banshee. There is no cloak on the field, and there is no cloak being researched. They're going to come in from behind and pick off the SCVs, I guess. I feel like you want to lift the siege tanks, right? The 3rd is cancelled. It looks like Probe just wants to rally a defense at his natural. Phoenix are out of energy. They want to get the heck out of dodge. Dream has accomplished what he came to do with that cancel on the 3rd Nexus. And he's going to book it home, it looks like. It's, okay, that was a great pick off for Probe, but it's a little bit hard to tell who's ahead here. I mean, Probe had his third canceled. Dream has his third CC finished. It's not becoming an orbital or anything yet. It's getting a reactor on the starport. That does mean Vikings are going to be coming into play. Stim just started for the Terran. Probe going into Colossi, getting out some Zealots. Charge under research. Neither player has any upgrades at all. So it's going to be an intriguing mid-game. I do feel that... See, I feel like Dream got more damage done by canceling the third Nexus, but you look at the raw numbers down here at the bottom of my screen, and factually, Dream lost more in the spreadsheet to the Phoenix Harass, so... I don't know, man. This is anybody's game. This is a good play by Probe. He is out of Phoenix energy, so this little attack will be ended, but not before 7 SCVs go down for Dream. This is a big attack from Probe. I think the concave from Dream is too much. There's still Vikings in the air picking off the Colossus. He's going to stim forward, and a very slow build-up based game ends in a flash as Dream. In the top right of Pillars of Gold, it's the red Protoss, it's Probe. And in the bottom left, as the blue Terran, it's Dream. Probe got some nice harass damage done in game number 1, but it wasn't enough, and he just didn't have a solid enough army to attack into the Terran. But he did it anyway, and Dream just had a concave perfectly set up to deal with it, won the air battle, had extra Vikings, picked off the Colossus, and stutter stepped forward to kill the remaining Protoss units. This Probe could kill an SCV. It's possible. Well, I think that window's closed. It's going to go for the delay in the command center. It's not going to get it, I don't think. 2-second delay on the command center. Probe gets his second gas, gets up his cyber core. We'll be looking for that first tech building of the Protoss reactor on the barracks from Dream. This could be a lot of things. Bunker at the front. Dream perhaps expecting some aggression from Probe. I mean, he wouldn't be wrong. This is nice micro from our Terran. He's yet to lose a unit. He's doing a very good job of realizing that he needs to take damage, but distributing that damage amongst multiple units. Dream defends against the initial shade with 0 losses. Probe going Robo Gate. Probe has pulled ahead a little bit more than you would expect to see in a TVP. Usually you expect the Protoss to be up about 6 workers in the early game, but but Dream, why did I say Kiwian? Oh, because we casted him last match. Dream stopped producing SCVs for a little bit there, which is kind of uncharacteristic for him, but he has resumed, so he should get back in shape very shortly. And I mean, that's the sacrifice of focusing so much of your attention on micro. He was able to save all his units, but ended up a couple extra SCVs behind anyway. There we see him finally caught up to being your standard 6 SCVs behind, but he wants to get some harass done on the Protoss to lower that number. And it looks like his unit of choice to do so is going to be the Raven. We should see some kind of auto turret drop. Maybe not if he realizes the Stalker attack is incoming. Blink is finished up for Probe. Yeah, I mean, Dream has no indication that this is coming. He's done 0 scouting. Not an SCV scout, not a Widowmine drop, not a Raven scout. The SCVs were not pulled in time to repair the bunker. The bunker falls. Some of these Marines are injured from earlier. Probe makes his move. The auto turret goes down. The Raven is a paperweight. A very expensive paperweight if it's lost. And this is tremendous Blink micro from Probe. The SCVs are drafted into battle. Every shot that's fired puts Probe a little bit farther ahead economically. Another bunker goes down for Dream, but in order to get that bunker down, it cost him 20 SCVs. And that death toll is only going to continue to rise. Oh no, the SCVs weren't repairing the bunker. Not that it would have saved it, but it might have withstood the Stalker onslaught a little bit longer. Medevac goes down in the sky. Raven is down to 1 tick of health. A single shot could blow it out of the air. Probe is not relenting on the pressure. He should have another warp in here very shortly. He's saturating his 3rd back at home. As Dream is knocked down to 1 base, Widowmines at the top of the ramp will hold the Stalkers at bay. Dream is mounting a last-ditch defense. Probe is by no means all in. If Dream breaks this, and Probe loses every Stalker, he has such a strong economy back home. He's going to have defenses. He's going to be able to warp in enough units to hold the Terran counter push. Probe isn't going to lose these Stalkers. He's going to blink them back in retreat. Dream shouldn't be overextending. This Medevac's going to use up the last of its energy before all these guys are healed. Probe's going for a charge lat drop in the main. Dream gets his little harass cleaned up, and Probe is catching Dream between Hammer and Anvil, cleans up the remaining units, and will be taking the victory. In the bottom left corner of Everdream, as the red Protoss, it's Probe. And in the top right, it's the blue Terran Dream, playing for Brave Star Gaming. One of these players is going to move on to the round of 8. While the other is going to have to try again in the EU Cup. Let's be real, guys. ESL does a great job of putting on 3 of these events every single Monday. One for Asia, one for EU, and one for the Americas throughout the day. If you want, you can have your entire day consist of watching Pro StarCraft. It's really awesome that we have these weekly cups. I think it's allowed for a lot of development of builds and a quicker evolution of the meta, as these guys have really high-level tournaments to participate in every single week. 100% of all weeks. Like, they don't take a break. This is the 26th consecutive ESL Open Cup. Probe might actually... Oh, no, Marine's out. He's not going to sack the Probe to kill the SCV, although had he done so, he would have killed the SCV. Hands down. I think I would have relied on the RNG. Like, if Dream had hit the T button and tried to randomize, get it to move to another location on the command center, it would have depended. Like, if it moved over there, yeah, Probe gets the kill. If it moves over here, maybe. If it moves over here, then I think Dream got the kill on the Probe for free anyhow. Probe... Dream scouting around for proxies, but Probe's being honorable, playing it standard. It's gonna open Stalker. Going into Twilight. The 240 mark. Okay. It's gonna be a Hellion drop from Dream. Alrighty then. Gonna see a Starport drop very soon, I think. Oh, wait a minute! Oh, no. Nope. It is the Starport. There it is. We found it. Yeah, so the Hellions are gonna drive across the map. They're gonna meet up with the Medevac, and Dream is just hoping that Probe doesn't figure out what's going on, doesn't scout this, and doesn't 6 Stalkers on the Medevac before it drops the Hellions. There we go. 4 Hellions in the Medevac. Probe has not scouted. He's not in a position to defend this. This could do some real damage from Dream. 4 probes go down. That's alright. You're looking at like 6 to 9 for this to be value and getting out with at least 2 of the Hellions. Okay, Shield Battery Overcharge is really putting in work defending this probe line, but 9 probes do go down, and I think that's worth it for Dream, trading out all the Hellions. Yeah, he's going to pull ahead 2 workers as opposed to, you know, the standard being behind 6 workers. Probe knows how well Dream did in that attack. He's going to take the opportunity to move out. There is a siege tank on the high ground. The low ground is a little bit poorly defended. Okay, with this second siege tank moving down, it's looking a lot better. Probe's thinking. You can, like, see the gears turning in his head. He's like, So he did drop a third. I don't know that he's going to sack his army for this. He does have Blink, so he could, in theory, get on top of the tank. But this tank is covered by the tank in the main. They just have such long range. Now third tank's out, and it would be absolute suicide at this point for Probe to make any kind of attack. I think this is just positioning to delay a possible third CC, which Dream hasn't even started yet, which is a little bit scary because that means Dream is probably planning to push as combat shields +1 and Stim hit the field, the holy triumvirate of Terran push upgrades. Dream sends out a drop. Two Marines go down in trade for a Stalker. This time 2 Marines go down in trade for no Stalkers, just hull damage. Probe is trying to do as much damage as he can while kiting like this before the Terran army hits. He's trying to buy time for these shield batteries to finish up. He didn't buy quite enough time. The Colossus gets picked off. There's the drop that Dream sent out a little bit earlier. This is going to distract some of Probe's army. Dream drops a scan. He's like, okay, do I have enough to take this? Double Guardian Shell goes down. Siege tank fire targeted on the sentries to get rid of the Guardian Shell, making the bio fire a little bit more effective. Shield Battery Overcharge is helping out quite a bit in this fight. Look at the Stalker chad through the siege tank shots. Zealot's able to get in on the tank, but he leaves the tank. Okay, Brave Stalker comes in from the side, flanks, and gets the kill on the tank. Another Colossus is out for Probe. I do believe he holds. Does he, though? Dream stims forward. He gets a snipe on the new Colossus. He's going to pick off the Stalkers, picks off the Sentry. GG is called. Dream moves on to the round of 8. In the top right corner, as the pink Protoss from Rai, everyone knows that Zest is best. In the bottom left, it's not too much of a fan of Twitch, reppin' Afrika. It's Dong Regu, as well as Team GP. Zest gets off the hatch block. DRG is going to take his third location as his second base. He's calm about it, he's chill about it, he's fine with it. The disadvantage created here for DRG, although it's seldom utilized in the 2020 meta, is that it makes you a little bit more vulnerable to a 2 Adept push from the Zerg, followed by an Oracle. Zest is still scouting. He's still scouting. Now one advantage to keeping the scout in the base is you can check the gas saturation, but also you can check the larva. So if there are larvae being banked, as the Protoss, you're going to be facing Lings 100% of the time. Now, there were no larvae banked, so Zest is going to know that it's just for defensive Lings to deflect the Adept. There's the Chrono Boost on the first Adept. And Zest goes into Stargate. This is an interesting building placement. With that rally point, I think he's going to go Phoenix first. Look how it's directly on the Overlord. It's clicked onto this Overlord. It has to be Phoenix first. Zest, unfortunately, lets some Lings in his base, so this is a full scout from DRG. I believe he's seen absolutely everything. Stalker's going to tap onto the Overlord. Yeah, he did indeed scout the Stargate before the Phoenix was even finished, and this Overlord will get picked off. This one might as well. Zest is making a beeline for it, and I mean, he swings by it. Is he gonna... Yeah, he's gonna swoop in and take it down. A little bit unfortunate for DRG, 200 minerals lost, and of course it's going to cut into his supply cap. He is going to be supply blocked from the loss of that Overlord very temporarily, but he's going to have to make another wave of Overlords sooner than he would have liked. This was a beautiful Oracle harass from Zest. Look at that, 7 drones getting picked off. That's, I mean, you don't usually expect an Oracle, even with a Phoenix, to get 7 drones and escape alive. That's excellent control out of Zest. I lack commentary a little bit. I was like, wow, let's just watch these lasers go off. Isn't this dazzling to the eyes? Isn't this a pleasing aesthetic as the drones get burned down? And Zest is going double Stargate, double pump Phoenix play. DRG is going what you would assume is a hard counter to this. He's going into Roach Warren. Now, he's getting a lair as well. What you would expect to see here once the Phoenix are revealed, and it's known that it's double Stargate, is just a Roach attack on the third. Simple as that. Roach Ravager Ling. These Overlords are quite vulnerable. One goes down, a second goes down. Five drones get picked off. The drone damage this game from Zest has been so good, man. Just so good. Excellent positioning in the corner, with the sentries behind the Stalker. So, like, I mean, one force field just stops damage from coming in this side. One force field can protect the shield battery on this side. One force field, you know, you get the idea. It's a very secure position and a very low-cost, very economically efficient defense from Zest or DRG to go for a Ling Flood or something. Phoenix have regained their energy, regained their vigor. They're going to take out another couple probes, another Overlord. DRG certainly isn't dead. He's still ahead a couple workers. He did get up his 4th. But things are not looking good. Zest has set the pace of this game. Zest has been the one dealing constant damage. DRG has been the one reacting to him. And the reactions have been very passive. They've been very defensive. And not defensive enough, despite that. DRG is oh, you know, So I said that the counter to this was a Roach Ravager attack, to just overwhelm the Protoss. You know, wait till the Phoenix use their energy on your drone line, and then just move out. And a lot of the Protoss army that they invested a lot of money in become paperweights that can't harm any of your units at all. Phoenix can't shoot down. They can only shoot what they lift or what's already in the air. But DRG is going to take it to the late game, going Corruptor into Muta. This is a unique play. Queens defend against the ground army. There are like way too many Phoenix here for the Queens to deal with this though. Guardian Shield is proc to try and stave off the Muta, but the Muta actually take out the Archon. The Phoenix in the air gets surrounded, so they can't micro against this. However, Zest is just all over the place. Charge Lot Archon hitting in the natural. Charge Lots in the main. As this main, I guess, quotation marks over main, force gets cleaned up. These Archons are going to be hard to break for the Mutalisk. Reinforcements are getting cut down before they can group up and be a threat to the Protoss Death Ball. Spores are getting cleaned up as well. GG is called. Zest takes game number in the bottom left of Ice and Chrome. As the pink toss, he's the best. It's Zest. In the top right, he's not a pasta sauce. It's Dong Ragu. That was bad. That was all I could think of. I was under pressure. Okay, he's not Ragu pasta sauce. Oh no. Yeah, DRG just taking the 3rd hatch location right off the bat. He was not hatch blocked, I don't believe. Yeah, there's no probe out on the map. Am I missing something? No, he totally did send the probe out. Look at that. Yeah. I'm being an idiot. I'm sorry. Go men aside. Chrono boosts on the Adepts. DRG chases the probe. He's not going to get the kill. Probes can, on most maps, make it home alive if they're at full health when the Lings start tapping at them. There's no Ling speed. DRG got his third down perfectly on time. Zest goes into Robo this time, mixing things up. And it's going to be a Dark Shrine play. Okay. This is a little bit dice rolly from Zest. DRG is a seasoned Zerg, one of the best in the world. He certainly knows how to hold a DT pressure. He knows what it looks like. Okay, he's going to link pressure the wall. How much does he commit to this? It looks like not a lot. He will not get the lings in. DRG finishing up his Roach Warren, continuing to pressure the wall. He should not get the kill on the Stalker. Okay, oh my god, oh man. Ooh, by the skin of its teeth, that Stalker survived. If that Adept was a fraction of a second later on the warp in, Stalker would have been gonzo, but it survives with 4 health and is going to regenerate shields. The DT attack takes off. Sporecaller tries to reroute. DRG gets the links around, meaning the DTs couldn't pick it off before it burrowed. He actually even picks a new burrow spot. Was very brave with this unburrow micro. Very well held from DRG. Only 2 drones going down to the attack. Going to drop off. A couple more DTs are going to morph in. Interesting. Okay, see, this is the point where most Protosses, if they haven't gotten damage done, would just warp in 1 more Dark Templar and go right into double Archon Harass, but not so for Zest. He's continuing with the DT aggression. Unfortunately, there is a Spine here to help deflect these DTs. 1 goes down. There's still enough to morph those Archons to keep DRG at home. DRG, flooding out with Lings, is going to see if he can get anything done about this third. There are 3 Adepts here and a Dark Templar. And that is enough for Zest to stop the third from getting cancelled. Here comes the double Archon drop. Power overwhelming indeed. Zest finishes his forge. He's going to go into +1 at weapons, most likely. Blink. Under development by the Protoss. This lair finished up pretty late for Zest, but he's going to be okay, I think. +1 ranged under development as well. DRG takes a 4th. Zest has a pretty strong defense at the third. It's going to be a while before the Zerg maxes out and wants to start trading with the Protoss. So we're just going to quietly see DRG take these gases, start saturating the 4th base. When he's at a drone count he's comfortable with, then we'll see what units he wants to attack Zest with to shut down a 4th and engage the Protoss army. For Zest's part, he's making sure he doesn't get hit with any unfortunate Ling run-bys, getting up static defense, getting out more gateways, getting out Blink, getting out +1. It's just a full-on arms race for the Protoss. DRG is going for Roach Ravager, at least for now. Going into Spire, going into Hive, so it's going to be a Broodlord follow-up, most likely. DRG takes a 5th before 9 minutes, so it's a little bit early. Zest is going to try to push the creep back. Observer already deployed, so he can hit these tumors. There's 1. There's 2. Zest should be getting out of dodge before Zerg Armada shows up. Zest takes his 4th. This is about the time DRG is going to want to make a push with his Roach Ravager composition, if he's going to do so. Okay, DRG taking the defensive route, I guess is going to power directly into Broodlords. There should be Corruptors on the field momentarily. This is a great angle for the Zerg against the Protoss. I mean, good Storms are going to save Zest, but DRG got a little bit of free damage. This is a tiny little ball of Protoss. I'm concerned if DRG sets up a surround, sends some units over here, sends some units over here, takes out the rocks. It looks like he's going to fight at the front, though. That's going to allow Storms the opportunity to deal some serious damage. Banelings do connect with the soft, squishy center of the Protoss army, but not enough of them to actually get kills. Zest, hitting in multiple locations at once, is overwhelming DRG. This is what we saw in Game 1. Great Baneling connections with the Zealots. Okay Baneling connections with the Stalkers. DRG wins decisively on the left flank. He was a little bit shaken on the right, but he's going to clean that up as well. And Zest is left flailing. As his entire army gets cleaned up, he's splitting off another hit squad, but this is not an army. This is just like a small special ops squad from our Protoss player, and DRG is going to be able to clean it up very quickly. I think Zest knows that. He pulls back to the Xel'Naga. He's going to get some Storm with this army, or maybe some Archons. Okay, it's going to be the Archons. The Prism's going to move in on one side. The other Prism's going to move on the other. This double Prism play is very uncommon because of its difficulty. Look how far these two are away. Zest is clicking back from here to here to micro this. He does pull one of the Prisms back as he focuses on this engagement. He will lose this engagement. DRG totally stabilizes. Where are the Broodlords, man? He never made the Broodlords. He's going into Muta instead. He got the Greater Spire. Muta feel like a risky play to me. Whereas Broodlords are a surefire way to, you know, shell this wall, shell the Nexus, slowly push the Protoss back as they trade out for the Broodlings. DRG is pushing in, but Zest, with a really smart play, picks off a couple of the Ravagers with DTs. DRG does just have the numbers, though. It's not really too much micro skill. It's literally a matter of DRG having too many Mutalisks, too many Roach, too many Ravager, too many Lynx for Zest to effectively micro against. But Zest is hitting in the background with some split-off charge lots, with some Archons, and causing significant damage to the Zerg. This third Nexus has fallen. Zest doesn't really have anything to defend the natural. He's going all in on defending the main. And this is going to be a base race scenario, but Zest doesn't have the biggest army attacking the Zerg. DRG can return home to clean this up. It looks like that's what he's going to do. 50 drones have gone down for DRG. He is still going to be 5 workers ahead overall, but he needs to not lose this tech. He needs to not lose the Greater Spire. He needs to not lose the spawning pool. These roaches are here to buy time. This Archon is out of shields. It can easily be picked off by the Muta if they want to. There are 2 intact Archons as well. DRG being super careful about how he takes the splash damage, because the wrong shot could end this game immediately. And DRG cleans it up. GG is called. Dongray Gu. In the top right corner of Everdream, as the pink Protoss, it's Zest. And in the bottom left, momentum in his favor, it's the red Zerg, Dongray Gu. Score is 1-1, and only one of our players can move on to the semifinals. Ooh, DRG, for the first time in this series, is going to get to take his natural. DRG asserting dominance. He's like, no probe. Not gonna block me. I may be a couple seconds late, but gosh darn it, I'm gonna expand at the right location. Followed by a classic, silky smooth gas pool. Zest with a sultry gateway opener. As he follows it with a tangy Cybercore. DRG only sent out one Overlord, so this is going to be his scouting, although in both our previous games we have seen Dongray Gu try to sneak Lynx in the wall. This is an early Twilight play, again from Zest. Is it going to be DTs again? I would imagine not, given that he lost in game number 2 when he tried this. It should be Resonating Glaives, I think. A second DT play would be crazy to me. Is this going to be the Robo? It is going to be the Robo. There's the Twilight. Stalkers being built. I'm waiting with bated breath to see what the tech's going to be. This could also be the rare elusive charge all-in. Look at that, it's going to be Glaives. There's the Prism. Glaives are 2/3 of the way done. That means Zest is going to feel confident to move out. He wants to hit right as he chrono boosts. Resonating Glaives to completion. Glaives are on the field. Zest gets an early queen kill. He's committing pretty hard to this. It doesn't look like he's going to go for the third base, and it doesn't look like he's going to go for the DT follow-up. So I think it's going to be all Adepts all day. He's even straight up engaging the Roaches. Oh, he cancels the Shade. I'm a little surprised by that. I guess not so surprised after seeing the Zerglings. The Queens and the Roaches are pulled off creep. That means they're going to be a little bit slow to retreat, and they're going to take a few extra shots. This time, Zest will allow the Shade to complete. He's trying to back up against this wall so the lanes don't get us around. He's unsuccessful in doing so, and look how quickly the Adepts get picked off. Now, this does reset the Zerg army, so it does buy time for Zest to prepare if DRG counterattacks. Only 5 drones have been picked off. I don't know. I don't think Zest's trading well enough. He needs to kill this third hatch to make this worth it. He's put a lot of work into it. You're looking for at least 15 drone kills for this to be successful, or a kill on the third hatch. Zest can't stop committing to this at this point. It's getting worse and worse and worse, and all he can do is keep warping in Adepts. I guess he's going to try and transition out. This is very late for the Protoss to take a third. This is very late for the Protoss to take a third and fourth gas. Ooh, miscontrol from Dong Regu means 2 very expensive Ravagers go down. Essentially for free. They didn't even get hull damage on any of these Adepts. And every Ravager is going to be critical if DRG chooses to push against the Protoss. The Lings are at critical mass, though. Zest can never close in on a drone line, and never close in on that third hatchery again, unless DRG makes a major mistake. DRG chases down the Shade. The Roaches at the front did have their number dwindle a little bit. A few creep tumors went down. This creep to the right side will clear up a little bit. This tumor is going to hold till around here. A lot of the Queens with energy go down. These aren't just the creep Queens, these are the inject Queens, so larva production is going to be damaged for DRG for some time. Zest was allowed to get up a critical mass of Adepts. This isn't a total surround from the Lings. Oh my god, Zest did it! GG! 2-1 to Zest! It was looking... In the bottom left, as the blue Zerg, it's Solar. And in the top right, as the red Protoss, it's SOS. Solar, the last remaining non-Protoss in the semifinals. Wait. Oh no. Short-term memory loss, no! Why have you forsaken me, memory? Yeah. It's all Protoss except for Solar. I'm 99% certain. Right off the bat, SOS gets the hatch block. Oh my god, now I have anxiety. I'm gonna alt-tab for a moment and check the bracket. Yeah, okay, I'm 100% correct. What am I doing with my life? Okay. Casters are human too. It's true. It's hard to believe, but true. So SOS. It's being a little bit annoying, making the Zerg mine slightly inefficiently. Standard gate cyber into double gas for Protoss. Now this is going to be best of 5. Everything leading up to this has been best of 3, and the other semifinals will be live casted by all participating channels. The finals are also going to be best of 5. So 15 potential games of StarCraft left in this tournament. Solar doesn't attack the probe, which is interesting. And that means the probe is going to get a pylon down. And this is going to delay Solar's third base. You can see the mineral stacking up. This is pretty painful for the Zerg. He's going to sink that mineral, extra mineral income into additional lings, and then drop the third when he has money again. Does get the kill on the Adept. Is he going to go try and pressure the wall? I mean, there's no units in the wall. There's also no units under construction. Solar has a window to actually get a kill on this pylon. Okay, the Stalker's going to pull down, but this is enough lings to kill the Stalker. I think the Adept will be out in time to save it, though. A probe... he thought about using a probe to micro. The Overlord does see this. Yep. Solar's gonna... Solar indecisive. You know what? Maybe not indecisive. Maybe he didn't want to try to kill the Stalker. I think he just wanted to see if he could slide through to get a scout on the Protoss base. It's going to be a Resonating Glaives play from SOS. Gateway almost finished here. Prism almost finished. Solar has scouted the Adept count, so he should know what's coming. Even though he didn't scout the Twilight. Now what he's going to be concerned about is, will SOS take a third? Is he all in on 2 base Adept aggression? Or is he going to go into DTs? There's an Immortal back at home. A rare follow-up to this is Immortal Sentry, but it's really hard to do. I mean, you're just sinking so many resources into the Adepts at front. I think he's going to get a third base. Spinecrawler rooted at the front to help out Oh! Oh! SOS! Lifts the sentry into the main, force heals the ramps! The Glaive Adepts are getting so many link kills! There's another force heal! This is one of the most brilliant things I've ever seen. I mean, this gets done. Certainly. The Prism is known to elevator sentries into the main of the Zerg and get force heals on the ramp, but I think this is the first time I've seen it with a Glaive Adept play, and it didn't get the most damage I've ever seen done. Only 7 drone kills, quite a few link kills, but that was... I mean, SOS gets freaking style points for that, man. Solar pulls back the roaches. He's like, oh god, I don't know if he's gonna warp in again. To defend this push, it is going to be the Immortal Sentry follow-up. Solar has enough to hold this, if he plays his cards right. SOS has delayed his third quite a bit. He is essentially all in at this point. You know, some people think that all in means you have to kill your opponent. That's not necessarily true. You can still... Okay, well, we have a shade forward. The Lings are going to clean this up. SOS pushes in from the north. Reinforcements are going to be cut up, but it looks like Solar has easily... Oh, wait, no, he left an Adept. This Adept's going to get a couple drone kills, but some okay force shields from SOS. Not good enough, though. One of the sentries goes down. The Immortals are starting to look a little bit beat up. The Prism's starting to look a little bit beat up as well as it takes a bile. Solar's going to continue to reinforce at the front. The Adept that shaded into the main looks to have gotten a fair few drone kills. GG's call. SOS takes game number. In the top right, oh my god, on the left side of the golden wall, as the blue Zerg, it's Solar. And on the right side, as the red Protoss, it's SOS. SOS took game number 1. As a reminder, this is a best of 5, given that we are in the semifinals. The probe got a little bit stuck. It's gonna take a tick of hull damage. If you play with fire, you're gonna get burnt. This probe is learning. When will you learn, old man? Nothing special. Solar, you know, has to take the third location again. Actually, wait a minute. Does SOS know about this? He does not. He does not know if Solar has a second base or not. I mean, I think he can tell from context clues, but He doesn't know if it's the gold. He doesn't know if it's up here. He's gonna see there's no base down here. Okay. He's not even gonna bother checking because he saw the drones go up here. There were 2 of them. Like, I mean, you could send 2 drones this early to just lose the game. But Solar, of course, does have a 3rd there because he is a very skilled Zerg player. Ooh. Double pylon block. SOS, walls off the front, stalker in the wall. Warp gate 99% done, as is this adept. Space is now secure. Solar isn't going to do anything with these lings. Roachhorn is halfway done for Solar. SOS completes the shade. And he's going to regret his decision in recall. He does get out with all of them. These guys are like, mission failed. We'll get him next time. Robotics finishes up. Port Prism under production. Dark Shrine being dropped as well. Huh. Okay, so this is Glaives backed up by DTs. Just that the Prism's a little bit late to the party. SOS has been seen by the Overlord. Solar knows how to prepare. Yeah, I wonder what he's going to do. This is looking very similar to game number 1. As far on Solar's part, not so much SOS. You know, SOS did get that force field on the ramp. He's going for the Dark Shrine this time, and there's no detection on the field for Solar. None whatsoever. He's not even going into lair. Aw, man, he doesn't even care that the Overlord saw it. There's 4 DTs. There's a Spore in the Nat. There's a Spore in the main now. But the DTs are going to help out in the battle as opposed to trying to split off. And, I mean, there's no detection here, so they will put in a lot of work. They are clogging up the ramp. All the Adepts were lost, except for a scattered handful. The DTs are baited into Spore Crawler range, but they do escape. First Overseer is only halfway done for Solar. There it is. SOS goes right into double Archon drop. Zap. Pow. Pow. Zap. Solar holds at the force field. He got a few kills there. SOS grabs the gold, so even though he's behind in workers, he should be ahead in economy for a little while. There are always advantages and disadvantages to having the gold. Okay, these lings are just allowed to go into the main. There's only one zealot here. One probe is lost. The rest are fine. Charge just finished. Poor SOS. He's going for another push. It's a muta play from Solar. It does seem to be working so far. There's only one Archon and a couple Sockers and a couple Sentries to help out against those muta. Biles cut down all the force fields. There are no more left with this army. And the muta have gone way far ahead. Picked off a probe at the gold base. Try to find purchase in the natural. Try to find purchase in the main. They are going to have luck here. They should be able to kill this cannon right as it finishes. Yep. And they will pick off one probe. They're going to go after the Stalkers next. These two armies skirmishing around the Protoss gold. Down goes the shield battery. And SOS is losing this engagement. He's going to tap out. At the bottom right, as the red Protoss, it's SOS. Score is 1-1. Which means we have at least one more game after this. Possibly two. Solar's not messing around. He's just gonna take his third location, as we've seen so often throughout the series. Solar repping the flag of Cosmos Esports. Standard opening from SOS, as well as the Zerg. Death Aura has the unique feature of acceleration zones. 3 of them, as a matter of fact, in the middle of the map. They make units go fast. They're the opposite of deceleration zones. It's probably the simplest way to explain it, but that can allow for interesting play. That can allow for interesting pathing. You know, do you angle your mutaflock through here, or do you take a different route? Do you fight in the speed zone? How do you position in and around the speed zone? Do you set up a concave on the outside? Do you try to, put your tank in here? Like, what do you do? Is a question that pro players are asking right now. And the answer right now seems to be, yeah, you just don't engage near them. I've had one engagement within them, and I've casted one pro game where there was an engagement around the speed zones. It was a ZVT, and it didn't go well for the Zerg, but other than that, everyone seems to avoid the middle of this map like the plague when it comes down to actually fighting. SOS will not be letting any links into his wall in this game. Which means Solar is a little... Well, he's not a little in the dark. He's in the dark about what tech SOS is going. And that tech's going to be Twilight into double Stargate. Okay, I understand the double Stargate, but why the Twilight then? Shouldn't you open one Stargate? Is this a fake resonating play? Like, is he psyching Solar out into thinking it's resonating glaives? Wait. Okay, he sees the Twilight. He scouts the double Stargate as well. So, I mean, any attempted ruse just isn't gonna work. He's like, no, I'm warping in Glaive Adepts. Flying Glaive Adept. Yeah. This is just scouted straight up from Solar. The question remains, what does he do about it? Well, he's getting a lair. He can either drone really hard, or he can all in the Protoss. Are his two primary options. Double Oracle are going to hit in the main as these standard Adepts push in to the third. They do blink out before the Oracles hit, so Queens are going to have a little bit of time to march in against the Oracles. It looks like Solar is keeping good control of himself, though, leaving the Queens at the third to defend, along with the Roach Ling. He has them well spread out between the third and the natural, and he's going for a Hydra play against the double Stargate. But SOS is kind of thinking a couple steps ahead, so he did end up getting Resonating Glaives. Now, Glaive Adepts are very, very, very good against the light-tagged Hydralisks, as well as Zerglings. Not so good against the chunkier Roaches, but the Roaches have the problem of not being able to gun down the Adepts fast enough. They fire these really powerful shots really slowly. But I think Solar has a very nice balance right now of Ling, of Roach, and of Hydra. The Zerg should be dropping a Baneling nest sometime soon and getting up Baneling's speed. SOS is cheerily mining his third. Solar breaks through. It looks like he's going for the all-out attack option. He does only have 4 Ravagers. He needs to be careful about these force fields. There's the Bile. 1 on each force field. Shield Battery Overcharge is procced for the Protoss. He's trying to zone the Zerg forces from picking off Shield Battery, but I think there's still too much here from Solar. I mean, the Immortal is alive for SOS. There's no Warp Prism to help it out, though. There are more shield batteries in the back. Disruptor is out. It gets a very juicy hit in the middle of the Zerg army. Another juicy hit. Is SOS going to be able to hold on? He saves both the Disruptors. Oh, he does not save both the Disruptors. Solar has reinforcements streaming across the map. 30 probes have fallen. GG is called. Solar goes up 2-1. In the top right of Eternal Empire, as the Blue Zerg, Solar currently in the lead with momentum in his favor. In the bottom left, as the Red Protoss, it's SOS. Being down 2-1 isn't a great situation, but there is time for SOS to pull it back and take us to the ace match. Solar showing restraint is not cheesing at all. Hatch gas pool. Gateway opener. Another gentleman's game. On Eternal Empire, there are strong all-ins you can do against the Protoss 3rd or against the Protoss 4th. It's such a huge map, though, and if the Protoss gets in on your high-yield 4th as the Zerg and is able to push in up to your 3rd, it can be very difficult to hold. A lot of times, the Zerg will... F in the chat.
Game paused.
Oh no. This is gonna start a fight. Oh no.
Game resumed.
Okay. Okay, there's no fight. No drama. Okay. I'm so happy. If it happens again, like, it always feels really bad, because it's something like... It's the most infuriating thing, because you just have no control over it. If you start lagging out of a game, that's it. That's the show. Scouting probe is poked away. Is going to claim the Zelnaga. Here comes the Adept. Ooh, could catch a drone. No, a little bit too slow on the trigger. Two drones go down. These guys are still in the fight, though. It looks like they're going to go for another 2 drone kills and retreat. They'll only get 1. They do force a spore, though. Solar did get Lings into SOS's base, which is annoying. Oh my god, he's going to kill the Stalker. Actually, all of a sudden, this got a little bit bad. SOS does warp in some defensive Adepts to concave the wall and stop Zerglings from breaking through. Recall from SOS saves all the Adepts. Solar is going to Ling Flood again. There's no shield battery yet. I think this is... He didn't even check up the ramp, actually. I don't know why he's rushing his entire army back home to deal with 1 Adept. I don't really understand that. The Queen finishes off the Adept anyway. Solar's like, okay, now we can go. Or can we? Okay, he's gonna scout and see if SOS has a 3rd. You know what? He can see the back of the mineral line. Maybe he doesn't see any probes, so... Oh well. SOS cancels the shade. He should cancel this one as well. He will. He's just making sure the Zerg's at home, making sure the Zerg's occupied. As he gets this Dark Shrine down behind it. Ooh. I don't know, Kev. There's plenty of time for Solar to get spores out. He's morphing a lair as well. Which will allow him to produce Overseers to help deal with this. The Lings are picked off one at a time. DT is concave in behind the roaches. Even despite the detection being there, they will cause a healthy amount of damage. But maybe not healthy enough. SOS gets surrounded and his army goes down. Solar is up 60 army supply to 13. However, SOS is up 9 workers. But also, some of those guys are oversaturated. Solar makes a wave of drones. It's gonna make it only a 1 worker lead for the Protoss, and no 3rd Nexus at 8 minutes. Solar sends out the Lings. This might not be enough to hold this many Zerglings. Depends on the positioning. SOS did have good enough positioning. Solar is deciding right now, do I want a 4th? Or do I want to attack? Do I want some combination of the two? RoboBay starts researching Warp Prism speed. Blink is being chrono boosted. Blink is no longer being chrono boosted. Nice play from Solar. Dropping Contaminate. It's one of the rarer spells used in the game, but any building it's dropped on ceases production for the duration, and there's nothing you can do about it. There's no way to counterspell it. You just have to eat the time loss. So Blink is going to be arriving a few seconds late. Ooh! Disruptor drop picks off a significant chunk of Solar's army. 3 drones went down to that shot. Solar still ahead, but slightly less ahead than he was a few moments ago. These disruptors are both off cooldown. Both players being very careful about how they engage this. Disruptors are off cooldown again. Two roaches. Not the greatest shots from the Protoss, but hey, they got damage done. And what this is doing is keeping Solar at home. It's allowing SOS to take his third safely, to get up static defense. However, Solar knows what the Protoss is trying to do, and is going to counter with Mutalisk. SOS blinks forward, picks off the Queen. He will get the kill on this 4th base. The Mutalisks are marauding around the Protoss bases. Solar is still ahead in workers. This could go either way. All the Ravagers are gone. There's so many Stalkers in this army, and so much of Solar's forces are Mutalisk. Is there enough here for the Zerg? Not in this wave. Solar's gonna call GG. SOS. In the bottom left, as the blue Zerg, it's Solar. And in the top right, as the red Protoss, it's SOS. SOS has been relying heavily on his adept play. Solar has been on the defensive for most of this series. Going defend, 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 okay, push out. He hasn't really been an aggro Zerg from the outset. We haven't seen any cheeses, no Ravager pushes, no Ling offenses. We've seen tiny little Ling attacks, but there have been several opportunities where I think if Solar had just committed to flooding Lings, or brought a battering ram with him in the form of just a handful of roaches, handful of Ravagers, he could have taken down SOS, but here we are. Only one person can advance to the finals. The loser will still go home with the consolation prize of $50 US, but come on, I mean, who wants the consolation prize? You want to get into the top 2 where you take home at least $100 and are guaranteed some juicy ESL Pro Tour points, which could mean tens of thousands of dollars in prizes later in the season. SOS. Halfway done with the Stargate. Is it not going to be a Glaives play this time? Is this going to be the first time we don't see it? I'm not seeing any Twilight Councils. Scouting has been shut down for Solar for now. He's going to send in the Overlord. This is a little bit... Well, this isn't a little bit late. This is a lot late to get the Scout off. You want the Scout to be going in at 3 minutes. And to have the tech scouted around 3:30. No, it's going to be a Twilight. An Oracle opener this time from SOS. Four drone kills is respectable. It's nothing to write home about, but hey, you slowed the Zerg economy down. Good for you. Resonating Glaives is started up for SOS. Solar is getting a bit aggressive, though. He shouldn't get the kill on these remaining 3 adepts. He'll take out 1. Glaives finishes in 3, 2, 1, 1.5. Okay, there we go. I was a second off. These adepts are a little bit more powerful now. They're gonna cleave through the lings. They can never engage these roaches, though. We target 2, 3 drones down. These drones are gonna be a little bit more fortunate. Slings come in to clean up the final adepts. Solar will get the cancel on this 3rd base. A very well-timed Link attack from the Zerg. Oh no. At least one of these adepts should die. Oh man, they escape by the skin of their teeth. But the Roach follow-up is here. Solar is knocking at the door, and he's not happy. Unfortunately, he didn't bring a Ravager with him, so he can't knock down that force field. Looks like the Oracle got 4 more kills. Solar backs off! I don't like this call, actually. I think Solar could have pushed through. His roaches don't have speed yet either, so they're going to take approximately 6 years to get back home. I guess he's just content with the fact that he got a cancel on the 3rd Nexus, but I don't know if that's cash money for the trades that were made. SOS goes into Disruptor again. This Protoss push looks so tiny compared to Solar's army. It is going to rely on the force fields and the prism to take this on, as well as the disruptor shot. Ooh, the disruptor goes down, and that's it. Just that disruptor loss, and Solar is going to be our champion and move on to the grand final. In the bottom left, as the purple toss, it's Zest. And in the top right, as the red Protoss, he's Stats. A fresh new semi-final is being baked before your very eyes. Who will move on to the grand finals to face Solar in another round of ZVP. Both players opening very similar. No proxies from either yet. Although I guarantee you we see proxies in this series for sure, 100%. Yeah, it looks like we're going to start with a proxy. There's the pylon. There's the pylon for Stats. I think proxies are more and more being regarded as just like a necessary thing you do in PvP. It's such a, like... See, people complained about Proxy Robotics Facility being way too overpowered in the last patch. But here's the thing, like 70% of all Protoss didn't even bother with it. And I'm like, if it's the optimal strategy to proxy robo, why aren't you proxy roboing, bro? And it's always the people that don't proxy robo that complained about proxy robo. But we have Chad Zest over here proxy roboing, even though there's something called the overcharged shield battery. Zest is ready to attack. Is Stats ready to hold this? I don't think so. His units are not in position. He doesn't have a shield battery. He doesn't know what's about to hit him. And there it is. Zest only gets a probe so far. These shield batteries are being given time to complete. Excuse me, shield battery is being given time to complete. Stats is getting his own robo. There's the prism for high ground vision for Zest. Zest is a little bit supply blocked, so he's not going to be able to warp in. Dank force fields on both sides. Shield battery overcharge is going to zone out Zest. Zest Goes into double immortal drop. Stats. Attacks with a hit squad of stalkers backed up with a probe. He's gonna drop a pylon in the wall to delay the stalkers of Zest. Zest recalls to the main to deflect this. Both his warp gates, well, 2 out of 3 of his warp gates are unpowered. Zest deflects the immortal drop. Before his own gateway, his own robo gets depowered. Robo depowered for Zest. Stats is going to be our first player with a Nexus. He's going into Stargate as well. Zest pushes forward. Stats moves out to meet him, but don't want to take hull damage on the Immortals for no reason. Zest shades out. He lets it complete. He's going to use them as a front line to tank for his higher value units. Shield battery overcharge is dropped in the main. Force field was thrown down to stop these units from just going up to the shield battery and walking back down. The Prism now had to transport them if they wanted to do that. Zest handily winning the engagement so far. Over double the army supply of stats. I think this is Zest's game for sure. Stats is going to lose the natural. He's behind 2 workers, and he's behind an almost insurmountable amount of army supply. There's no... he's going for the disruptor. The Adepts will eventually get cleaned up, but 10 probes have been picked off, and one of them even escapes. 11 probes go down in total, putting Zest at, well, an 11 worker lead. Stats is feeling a little bit bullied. He's going to back the Prism off. He gets a Disruptor shot onto the Immortal. Half the hull health gone. So now both these guys are pretty softened up. It's now Zest's turn to be the defender. Army supplies have evened. That low health Immortal is entirely out of shields. No more Guardian Shell for it either right now. That was a great Disruptor shot. All the Stalker Sentry is gone. There's like 3 Stalkers, 2 very wounded Immortals left. There's the Shield Battery overcharge. That's going to add a lot of value to these units. Will it be enough for Zest to hold? In the meantime, Zest is trading on Stats' side of the map. Stats has no economy. GG is called. Zest takes the win. In the top right of Pillars of Gold, with our first point on the board, it's Zest. And in the bottom left, as the red Protoss, it's Stats. I wouldn't count stats out. These guys are both such high level Protoss. Either one could win the series. The Great Scout War has begun. Zest is going to proxy. Zest was our proxy robo player in game number 1 as well. And I mean, the proxy robo itself wasn't too successful. It was more backstabbing while his opponent was attacking him. Okay, it's going to be a proxy Stargate this time around. The Great Pro Brace. Stats is gonna find it. Is he though? Wait a minute. He didn't find it. He didn't see the Stargate. Adepts pick off the probe. I'm worried Stats isn't gonna be prepared now. There's the Oracle. Stats has his own Stargate. Much later than Zest. Stats goes into Phoenix. Zest goes into Void Ray. Four probe kills on that Oracle. Zest with a very aggressive proxy gate is looking to all in off of one base. How does Zest actually break this? He might have enough. It's gonna depend how well the shield battery overcharge plays out. There's the second Void Ray. And Zest is just using excellent positioning. He has his own shield battery out. He picks off the Cyber Core. That means no more Stalkers to hurt his precious Void Rays. Phoenix scout the Stargate. Unfortunately, they're Phoenix, so they can't harm buildings. Shield battery overcharge has been procs. And it's burnout. More shield battery overcharge for quite some time. Stats loses a gateway. Stats is going to lose another gateway if he doesn't do something about this soon. Zest is playing this out so well. Down goes that second gateway. The Phoenix are, well, two of the Phoenix are pretty much at full energy. The other one's approaching 3/4. At what point do you say enough is enough as stats and just push out? Shield battery overcharge should be off cooldown. If not now, then very shortly. One shield battery goes down. Phoenix are taking care of the Void Rays, but there's just too many Stalkers for Zest. And we should see GG any moment. Are there enough Phoenix to defend this, actually? Hold up. Maybe I called this too soon. No. Maybe. It's gonna be close, no matter what. Shield battery overcharge is saving a lot. Okay. Stats holds for now. Now, as time goes on, well, Stats isn't lining out the second Nexus, but when the mineral patches in the main start to get diminished, Stats has a place to transfer his workers. Zest does not, so Zest is going to fall behind in economy. Both players are, for all sakes and purposes, on one base now, except for energy, and that energy keeps being spent on shield battery overcharge. Ooh, Zest pulls the boys. Terran Zest. GG's called. Stats takes it 1-1. In the bottom left of Eternal Empire, as the pink toss, he's Zest. And in the top right, as the red toss, it's Stats. Score is 1-1. We're going to see at least 2 more games in the semi-final. These two are duking it out to see who has the honor of facing Solar in the grand finals. See, now it sounds like Solar is just like a hick version of Solo. Give me that! Han Solar feller from the Star Wars. Jabba the Juba Solo. That was my Jabba the Hutt impersonation. Do you like it? I hope you enjoyed. Okay, both players opening double gate. I mean, this means nothing till we find out what those first 2 units are out of each gateway, and if either player proxies. Oh, these guys proxied so close to each other. Did Zest see it from the high ground? No. We're watching with bated breath. Cybercores are about to finish. Cybercores are finished. Double proxy robo. The difference here is Zest scouted Stats. Stats has not scouted Zest. Nice shield battery block by Zest. Zest is getting a shield battery at his proxy so that his immortal can engage the proxy immortal of Stats and win. very decisive move from Zest. Oh man, look how hard this Immortal won. And he gets a Stalker kill. That's some value. Because, look what's popping out of here next. It's going to be another Immortal. These Stalkers aren't going to kill the Pylon in time to finish it. They're barely going to eat through the shields. And Zest wins our first little skirmish. Immortals are costly, but Zest comes out with flying colors. Stats drops off in the main. Stats picks up. Swings around to the third. One probe goes down. Zest is going to try to bully the Warp Prism. Double Immortal drop is going to begin for Zest. So Immortal will definitely be out in time to greet the Prism. Zest gets a Pylon kill. He will get a kill on this gateway as well. This is a great start. Second gateway goes down. The choke point is quickly disappearing for stats. He does still have several more force fields. He needs to start remaking the Cyber, because he's not able to save this. Carte blanche. No more Stalkers for Zest, or excuse me, no more Stalkers for Stats. Stats did launch an attack on the proxy robo of Zest, so no more reinforcing Immortals. Zest chooses to back out. Zest takes the shields off the pylon. But the pylon holds and remains strong. Army supplies are even. Worker counts are, for all sakes and purposes, even. Upgrades. Going to be in favor of stats as he goes for Resonating Glaives. Stalkers get the kill on the Phantom Phoenix. Stats means business. Luckily, I think Zest has the Stalker count. He needs to stop this. Assuming he doesn't derp into force fields. Stats is so confident in this push. There's no probe to block the Adept Shade, and it looks like they will complete. That didn't block the ramp. Did create a funnel, but is that good enough? It looks like the answer is yes. Yes, it is good enough. There's no way that Stas can win this game at this point. Loses the Immortal. He was a stalker after stalker after stalker. GG is called. Zast goes